Had another one of those brainwave moments, you know? Got this new idea brewing in my noggin, an online art school. You believe that? Yeah, it hit me like a flash of light walking through the Met, the absolute need for democratizing art education. I mean, who says you gotta be in New York or Paris to learn the depth of Van Gogh or the wittiness of Banksy, right? So I was chatting with Nina. Yes, the Nina from the art club. We were discussing life on canvas, and just like that, the idea popped. We play around with it, and things just start to click. It's like the molecules in the air started to rearrange into a Picasso or something. Anyway, getting ahead of myself here. Guess where our conversation leads? To Jane. Yes, the same Jane we bumped into at the last art gathering. She's got some fine expertise, and I'm optimistic she'd be up to join the team. You know, like a co-founder or something. Plus, she's got this calming aura like she belongs, carefree among Monet's water lilies. And then there's the big question, you know? The money monster. Been thinking about roping in Steve as a potential investor. The guy's loaded, and he has a knack for the arts. Plus, you get him talking about a tech edge, and he might as well start painting dollar bills out of excitement. Haha. Well, gotta play smart if we're going to dance with the big sharks of the art world. Speaking of sharks, Nina and I are thinking of a thriller movie for our next hangout. Something to match the Halloween vibe. Also, she threw a pumpkin latte challenge at me, believe it or not. Guess my usual green tea morning ritual may have to sing a different flavor tune if you catch my drift. Oh, did I tell you? Emily's swinging by later today to see my latest piece. You know what they say about siblings? They're your toughest critics and your loudest cheerleaders. Can't wait to see what she's got to say about it. I hope she reads the emotions in every brushstroke, the love in every color. You get the feeling, right? When you're creating something and just hope the world understands it. Anyway, I guess it's that instinctive artist in me, always hoping to connect and inspire, make sense of this chaotic beauty. But before I get lost in my artsy rambles, there's work to be dusted and done. Ah, so here's a fun swirling thought. Ever wondered, buddy, about the true beauty hidden behind the perfect imperfections in art? You know, they're like those little surprises waiting in every brushstroke. I don't know, it's as if they've got a life of their own, these little stray dots and lines, bursting out of the canvas and making a bold statement in this world of symmetry. Having a heavy conversation with Jacobs, my old favorite professor, really nudged me to reflect deep into this. He always had this knack to make me ponder our tradecraft in a whole new perspective. Though sometimes I feel like I'm turning into a philosopher with a paintbrush, you know? Anyway, Nina chimes in on this, double taps my idea, and it felt like my canvas just got a new shade of exciting. We've been hatching this idea of embracing the beautiful mess, trading out a bit of our perfectionist tendencies for some raw, unfiltered authenticity in our work. Quite the Lille revolution for this old perfectionist, huh? Nina seemed stoked, throws in a golden nugget. Embracing imperfections is where the true beauty of art lies. Gave me that jolt of validation, if you know what I mean. And this inspiration hasn't come out of nowhere. It's all bloom and roots from Jacobs' influence back in those Yale days. You remember him, right? The ever-insightful Jacobs, the Gandalf behind my artistic journey. I mean, he's been quite the aesthetic Yoda to me since those early days at Yale. The guy's got wisdom spilling out of his every pore. By the way, talking about wisdom spill, did you catch the new Basquiat exhibit at MoMA? Nina and I are planning a little art venture over there soon. Coming along. And before you roll those eyes on my monotonous green tea fixation, I've taken a wild plunge and tried the pumpkin latte. You won't believe it. It's wicked good, man. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I owe one to Nina for this flavorful twist. Speaking of wild plunges, we had this random chat on augmented reality and its chilling potential in art. I don't know, mate, but it seems like a beast ready to explode into our cozy world of brushes and colors. But then again, this could be the thrill of the new. The unknown singing its siren's song, you know? Oh, and apparently, now we have mutual interest in this new Spanish flick. Get ready, man. Bring over the popcorn. We've got cinema plans. Anyway, exploding stars and space dust. I meant to say, time to zone into the cosmic dance of art and imagination. Gotta face off with my canvas warrior. Continuing my escapade towards tranquility, I was immersed in this fascinating journey of mindfulness last night, you know. So imagine this, me, stepping out in the silent abyss, armed with my brushes, holding my post under the tranquil gaze of the moon. If this doesn't scream artsy, I don't know what does, man. It was just the moon and me, painting life on a canvas. Damn serene, really. Were it any more peaceful, I'd melt right into the ground. There's something about painting alone like that, under the open sky, finding inspiration in every twinkle of the starlit canvas above you. I can see why Van Gogh was so obsessed with it. So I painted this canvas, right? Translating the moonlit shadows that danced around me into strokes of grays and blues. I felt the rhythm connecting with my soul, my hand moving wildly yet thoughtfully, just like the moon Mom used to sing about when we were small. Moon so bright, guiding through the night. With the sizzling sound of night air, it's like the universe whispered the color palette to me. I tell you, it was a moment straight out of one of those philosophical books. Quite a different rhythm from our usual New York Symphony, eh? Speaking of Nina, we spent some time earlier messaging about this. She's curious about this moonlit muse, too. I'm half tempted to reel her into this Zen adventure. Maybe next week we can jam at this newfound canvas of tranquility, moon, rhythm, paint, and some wine. What say you? And speaking of getting tipsy, Nina brought me up to speed with the latest Coldplay album. Haven't had the chance to sink into it yet, though. You know, sometimes I wish our tastes in tunes weren't so eerily similar. At least then I'd have someone to blame when a bad track plays on shuffle. Guess what Nina tried today? Bibimbap, that Korean dish. She said it was unbearably delicious. Perhaps time for me to sprinkle a little Asian spice on my taste buds. Who knows, right? Life is all about those spices. In other news, Nina and I have enlisted another classic for our weekly movie night this time. The Art of Getting Lost. Couldn't resist the artistic allure. So, you up for some cinematic exploration? Anyway, time to get back on track. I've got an unfinished symphony of colors waiting for my return. I can tell it's itching to tell its story. So, it's another date with the canvas for me tonight, under the romantic gaze of the moon, creating moonlit tales.